I have some great tips, tricks, and tools for you, so keep watching. Welcome back. I'm Julie, keeper of my home. I've really got some great things to show and share with you today. These are some things that I do, I use. I've got them all spread out here, and I've even got some notes because I want to make sure and give you all the details of everything about these things. First thing I want to show you is your microwave. If you are not new to my channel, then you've seen me do this before. If you are new, this is really great to know. I have one of those little things that you put over your food, the little plastic cover, so that nothing spatters. But we don't always use that or remember to use it. And when you cook your food, it tends to spatter around your microwave, and if you don't clean that right away, it sticks and it gets hardened on there because it's getting microwaved over and over again. So a good trick that I use is I usually put a couple of cups of water, 1.5 to 2 cups of water in a measuring cup, and I add some baking soda to that. Probably a teaspoon or 2, and I put that in the microwave and I leave it in there for probably 3 or 4 minutes. I let that come to a boil, and it's going to steam that whole microwave, the inside of that. That's going to loosen up, break up all of that hardened on food. And what the baking soda is going to do is it's going to help eliminate any lingering odors that may still be in there from maybe a pasta dish that you microwaved, or Brussels sprouts, something that you might have put in there that doesn't have the best odor. It works great, so try it. Okay, moving right along. And sticking with baking soda, I like to put baking soda in a little dish and keep it in my refrigerator. That's something my mother did years ago. She'd usually buy the little box of baking soda and just open the lid, crack it a little bit, and stick it in there. But I'll tell you, I go a little further with that one, and I take some essential oil. This is lemon. Any kind of citrus oil I find works best. I just put a few drops in there. Oh, I can smell that. And you've got lemon baking soda. Such an easy thing to do. I mean, you could squeeze a lemon in there too if you wanted to, but it smells so good, and it's great for your refrigerator. The baking soda is going to absorb all those odors, and the lemon scent is just going to smell so good every time you open up that door. So try that one as well. All right, and sticking with the essential oil, I like to take these and put them in my sink drain. Sometimes, you know, your sink will start to smell a little bit, and we don't always, I mean, a lot of stuff goes down your drain, but when it gets down there, it's good to clean it out every once in a while, and I'll link a video here to show you how I clean my drain. But in between cleanings, I like to put essential oil. The next tip I have for you is what you can use if you don't have a degreaser. When you cook on your stove top, sometimes grease spatters and you have all of that mess on the top of your cooktop, and you want to get that out of there. What do you use? Well, if you don't have a degreaser, white vinegar is a great degreaser. Just put it in a spray bottle, or just pour it onto a cloth and take that cloth and wipe that area. It really works great, so try it. Just rinse it with water, and don't worry about the vinegar smell, because that's not going to stay on there. That's going to dissipate. So even if you don't like the vinegar smell and you're thinking, well, I don't want my appliance to smell like vinegar, it's not going to. I can promise you that. So try it. I think you'll really like that tip. On to my little tricks that I have. Well, there's a few things that we have in our kitchen that we tend to throw out. We don't hang on to because we think, well, it's empty, I'll just throw it away. But have you ever thought about how you can reuse something in a different way? Well, I'm gonna show you a few things that I reuse in my kitchen. The first thing that I reuse are these. Do you buy these? Big, small, it doesn't matter. These ones are the little ones. My husband brings these home for me from the office where he works. I love reusing these. Especially if you have kids or grandkids, these are the perfect little thing to use. So what I do is this comes off, this label. It's just a plastic cover. Actually, I'll show you how this comes off. I'll take this one off. So I don't need it on there. I just left it on there to be able to show you what this was. This just comes right off. Just like that. And you have a clear container. So right now, I have Cheerios in this one because we have a 1-year-old granddaughter who loves snacking on Cheerios, and this is perfect. This is great for on the go. It has a little lid. You can just take these out. She loves doing it by herself. To put them in there, this unscrews, so you can just load it back up again. It's easily washable. You can put anything in here. I mean, if you wanted to use it to store things in your pantry, you could store nuts in here, coconut, I mean, use your imagination. So this is just kind of giving it a new use. So start saving these and reuse them. You'll be glad you did. All right, the other trick that I have is, I bet you also buy this, don't you? Well, did you know that these lids can be used on mason jars? They work great. It screws right on there easily. This is a little pint-sized one. I use these all the time. I love them. I have my baking soda in one. I have my whole cloves. I have my nutmeg. I have cinnamon. I have a whole pantry full of these. I love them because you've got the area where you can scoop out, use your teaspoon or your tablespoon and scoop it out. But you've also got the shake side. So if you don't want to scoop it, you can just shake it in there and just not get as much. These are perfect for this, so don't throw these away, save them. I have got bags and bags full of these and I reuse them all the time. So that's another little trick that I use here in my kitchen. There's another container that I also reuse, and that is my breadcrumb container. This is a neat little thing that I do when usually around holiday time or a birthday or something. What I do is when this container is empty, I hang on to it and I just clean everything out. Now you don't want to put water in here because this is cardboard. Obviously that's not going to work. What I use this for is to mail cookies. Cookies fit perfectly in here. I took a piece of wrapping paper. This is one that I use at Christmas time. I took a piece of wrapping paper and I just measured it out, set it down. I measured it out and wrapped it around here. I used double stick tape so you can't even see, you don't see where I've taped it. It's just a nice clean seam. And inside you can put your cookies and you can layer them one on top of the other. And it's perfect. They're not getting tousled around, and you could put brownies in here or whatever. This keeps them safe and secure. I don't mail the actual container, although you probably could. I'd be afraid of this coming off, so I wouldn't do that. So I usually put it in a box if I'm sending a box of goodies somewhere to a friend of mine that lives in Texas. Marsha, maybe you'll get some cookies in here someday. And or my sister who lives in North Carolina. I know she's thinking I'm not gonna hold my breath. But that is an idea. But you could also fill it with socks, boxers. You could roll up t-shirts and put them in here and then just put a bow on it and a label and tuck it underneath of the tree. It's just a cute little gift box idea. So I do save those, so maybe from here on out you'll want to save yours too. My next little trick is something that I discovered out of sheer panic. I think I had to make some pie crust, and I absolutely hate making pie crust because I don't like the mess that it makes. I know, it's crazy. I just don't like that mess on the counter. And in our old farmhouse, we had red laminate countertops. What I would do, instead of just throwing the flour down onto the countertop and rolling out my pie crust, so this is really cool. I love this idea. I wet my countertop really good. Get it nice and wet. You don't want it to dry up. And then I'm gonna take some plastic. I'm gonna tear off a piece. And I'm gonna set that right down on the wet counter. And that is going to stick right to the countertop. It's not gonna move. It's stuck right down there. I mean, obviously you're gonna wanna do a couple big enough for the area that you're rolling in. But I would do that, and then I'd flour this, and I'd roll my pie crust out, or my cookies if you're doing sugar cookies. And then once I was done, all I do is lift up that plastic, and it's lifting up all the flour, all the mess. I grab it, keep it all contained, and then throw it away. And that is an easy cleanup. Those are the kind of things that I love. Whatever we can do to make our lives a little bit more simple, I'm all for it. It's just easy, quick, and I can get on to the next thing I need to do without having to spend so much time cleaning up. All right, so now I have some tools I want to show you. I'm just going to move aside everything that I have shown you and show you some of my tools. These are my favorite tools that I use here in my kitchen. I know if you've been with me for a while, you know I love these. These are my push measures. I just think that these are the greatest invention ever. They're just measuring cups. You just push that down, and on the side it'll tell you what measure you're at. Like right here, I'm at 1 cup. If I needed 1 cup of shortening, it's a real pain for me to get 1 cup of shortening out of here, because I'm putting it in and I can't see if it's actually going down in there without any air pockets. And then when I take it out, I'm having to scoop it out with a spoon, and it's just a mess. So instead, I scoop it in here, put it all in, and I can see if there are any air pockets around here, and I can just push it down with a spoon. And then when I get it filled, I level off the top, and then I just push it down into my dish. And it comes out that easy, and I just scrape off the top. It's great. It works so good. And then I have a smaller one. I have 2 of these big ones. And this one also is really great. You can see it has the little spout. It's great for liquids as well. I will leave a link below where you can get some of these. I believe I got one on Amazon. The other 2 I think I got at a yard sale. So yeah, I'll leave a link below in my description box where you can get one if that's something that you're interested in. So now we have what is called a chop stir. I found this on Amazon. I really love it. It's made of a heat resistant nylon, and it's great for chopping up ground beef or turkey or stewed tomatoes if you're not buying the ones that are already diced up. This just works so good in doing that. It works great too if you're making some lemonade or some orange juice from concentrate. You know, you buy the cans, the frozen cans, and you pour it into your pitcher, and then you've got this big blob in there. This works great for breaking that all up. It's a fabulous tool to have in your kitchen, and it's just kind of one of those things you don't actually need, but when you have it, you find that it's a little indispensable. So if you would like to own one of these, I will leave a link below. I got it on Amazon. They're $7.99. That's what I paid. I'll leave a link in my description box for you if you'd like to look at it. And these are another of my favorite tools. These work great for meatballs. They work great for cookies. I have 3 different sizes. They also work great if you're doing muffins or cupcakes. You can just scoop the batter and put it in the muffin cups or muffin tins. They make things so much easier to do it this way. And when you're doing cookies, you're getting the uniform size every cookie that you do. You just scoop it and you're getting uniform cookies. So you're not worrying about if one needs more cook time than the next one. So they're all uniform. I love this idea. Okay, so moving on to the next one, a slotted spoon. What do you use your slotted spoon for? Well, I'll tell you what I use mine for. So have you ever read a recipe and they ask for an egg separated and then you think, oh great, how am I going to separate that egg? Well, you could crack the egg and bounce it back and forth between the 2 shells, but sometimes I catch the yolk on the side of that shell and it breaks the yolk and it gets into the white and it's a mess. So I've discovered that an easier way for me to do this is with a slotted spoon. You break the egg, the white goes through, but the yolk stays. And then you just put the yolk in another dish and there you go. Alright, so my final little tool that I love using here in my kitchen is my Bubble Up soap dish. Let me show you how that works. This is my Bubble Up soap dish. What it is, I'm going to take it apart. It's a little dish. I add a little bit of water to it. Then you have this little piece here, which is on a spring. You put that in, and then you add a little bit of dish soap on top of that. And when you have like a couple of dishes, like I have a spoon and a knife here, dishes are done, so you just kind of put that in there and you push it down and it gathers up a lot of that soapy water. And it's just a quick wash. Just like that. I love this. I tell my husband all the time, I especially love this on forks. See how you have the tines in there? And when you're wiping this with a cloth, you're wiping this side and this side, but are you really getting in between? This will get in between and it scrubs it really, really well. So I especially love this for forks. The Bubble Up soap dish. And this is from Grove Collaborative. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something new. I just love sharing all of this stuff with you. And if these are the kind of videos that you like, leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below and let me know what you would like for me to share with you. If you have anything that you like to do or something that you like to reuse, recycle, or a favorite tool, let me know what that is as well. When I am not here on my channel, I am also pretty active on Instagram. If you'd like to follow me there, there's links in my description box. And I also have a blog. I've had a blog for about 7 years now, and I share a lot of different things on there. There's many, many posts. It'll take you quite a while to go through, so you'll want to grab a cup of coffee or tea and a little something to nibble on while you're looking through the different posts. There's great content on there, a lot of recipes. If you'd like to write some down, grab pen and paper and just enjoy yourself on that. I'd love for you to go over and visit me there and leave me a comment and let me know you're coming over from my channel. I would love for you to subscribe if you're new, so you can do that below. Anything that I've mentioned here, I will leave a link below in my description box for you. And until next time.